Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch and support the channel. Simba and I will be going through the remainder of the Innistrad Crimson Vow spoilers today. Every single card has been released. We get to look at the new Kaya and then the remainder of the common cards, in which there are a few that definitely stand out, bringing some good value to the free-to-play community. And also, we can now begin looking at theory crafting new decks for the set when it releases on the 11th, and make a limited guide through the archetypes for you guys who are looking to fill out your collection that way. So buckle up, get ready. This is part 5. I'll have the first 4 parts listed in the description below. You'll probably have to press see more to get to all of them. But if you're interested in learning about my personal opinions on all of the new cards, all 277 of them, I encourage you to check those videos out. So that out of the way, let's see if we can deal with this cat and check out some cards. All right, here we are. We made it. We're here. First up, we have Kaya, Geist Hunter. This is what it's all about. A 3 loyalty Planeswalker, which we know is absolutely busted. And it's pretty cool because Chandra's a 3 loyalty Planeswalker as well. For 3 mana, +1, creatures you control gain Death Touch until the end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature token you control. Not super relevant, but it's a +1. The +1/+1 counter is nice, but it does have to go onto a token, which isn't great. -2 until end of turn if one or more tokens would be created under your control. Twice that many of those tokens are created instead. This I really like, especially if you're creating more than 1 token at a time. Example, Essica's Chariot if you're in Abzan. The Tainted Adversary makes double what you pay, and then this would double that. So I think that's a really cool ability. And then -6, exile all cards from all graveyards, and then create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying for each card exiled this way. That's really, really good, right? You can make a whole army of flyers, and maybe even have some spirit tribal effects to push those 1/1s up into 2/2s, or, really, who knows where you get with them. Into the final day of spoilers. Evolving Wilds, this is just a reprint. Tap it, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it into your battlefield, tap, then shuffle. We know this, right? Ceremonial Knife for 1. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Has whenever this creature deals combat damage, create a blood token, equipped for 2. Whatever. The Sporeback Wolf, nice for the wolf deck. A 2-drop 2/2. As long as it's your turn, the wolf gets +0/+2. So that's going to be a 2/4 as long as it's your turn for 2 mana. Decent. Not a great defender because, it's only a 2/2 on their turn. But as you're attacking, it's got a good chance to survive, right? Toxic Scorpion for 2/1/1 with Death Touch. And as it enters, another target creature we control will gain Death Touch until the end of turn. Witch's Web for 2, instant speed, +3/+3 and reach until the end of turn, plus an untap, which is really nice. So, your opponent's not expecting a block. Boom, we block and we have reach. Sorry about your flyer, bro. Wolf Strike for 3. Now, this is very good. Instant speed, target creature you control gets +2/+0 until the end of turn if it's night. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control, right? We need all the removal we can get within those limited formats, and that's actually just decent for the wolf decks in general, I feel like. Crushing Canopy, nice reprint. Creatures with flying and enchantments get destroyed at instant speed for 3. Nature's Embrace for 3. Enchanting a creature or land. As long as it's a creature, it gets +2/+2. And as long as it's a land, it can tap for 2 mana of any one color, which is nice. The Rule Recruit for 4. 1/1 when it enters play, create a 3/1, which is nice. And it has training, so that 3/1 that it creates will consequently train itself, which is quite beneficial in limited. A Spore Crawler for 3. 3/2 when it dies, draw a card. That's really nice as well. A body that replaces itself. This really stood out to me. The Voldaren Epicure for 1 mana. A 1/1 when it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you create a blood token. That's a lot of value for a 1/1 creature. Sure Strike for 2, a nice reprint, +3/+0, first strike until the end of turn at instant speed. Pyre Spawn for 6 as a 6/4 wolf. When it dies, it deals 3 damage to any target. Lightning Wolf for 4, a 4/3. You can pay 2 to give it first strike until the end of turn at sorcery speed. Alconrath Celebrants for 5, a 4/4 with Menace. Nice. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 blood tokens. Nice. Flame Blessed Bolt for 1, instant speed, 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If it would die, exile it instead. Lacerate Flesh for 5, sorcery speed, dealing 4 damage to target creature. Create a number of blood tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to this creature. Meh. Reckless Impulse for 2, sorcery speed, exiling the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. What? Right? Ancestral Anger for 1 mana, sorcery speed. Target creature gains trample and plus X plus 0 until the end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. Draw a card. So that's great if you can stack 4 copies of it for shizzle. Blood Petal Celebrant for 2, a 2/1, and it has first strike as long as it's attacking. When it dies, create a blood token. Blood Betrayal for 3, gain control of creature. It gains haste and untap it, and you create a blood token at sorcery speed. End of Festivities. I really, really like this. 1 mana, sorcery speed, 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and each planeswalker that they control. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's absolutely incredible. The Persistent Specimen for 1/1/1, pay 3 to return it from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Not bad. Pointed Discussion for 3, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, then create a blood token at sorcery speed. Undying Malice for 1 at instant speed to end of turn, target creature gains. If it dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a 1/1 counter on it. Nice. Vampire's Kiss for 2. I like this quite a bit. Target player loses 2 life, you gain 2 life, create 2 blood tokens. Decent. So, stacking multiple copies of that up is going to be really, really good. Diregraph Scavenger for 4, 2/3 with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So we can see some different archetypes forming here already. The Doomed Dissenter, I believe this is a reprint for 2 mana, 1/1. When it dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. The Gift of Fangs for 1, enchant creature. If it's a vampire, it gets +2/+2, otherwise -2/-2, both offensive and defensive. Loving the art on this one. The Grisly Ritual for 6, destroy target creature or planeswalker, create 2 blood tokens. Just nice limited removal. Blood Fountain for 1, when it enters the battlefield, create a blood token. You can also pay 4 to tap it, sacrificing it as well in the process to return 2 target cards from your graveyard to your hand. Bleed Dry for 4, instant speed. Target creature gets -13/-13 until the end of turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Aim for the Head, 3 mana, sorcery speed, exiling target zombie or having target opponent exile 2 cards from their hand. Wandering Spirit for 3 with flying. 2/3 can only block other creatures with flying. The Sky Warp Scob for 5, 2/5 with flying. As it enters the battlefield, you may exile 2 creatures from your graveyard. If you do, draw a card. The Steelclad Spirit for 2, 3/3 with Defender. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, it can attack as though it did not have Defender. The Stitched Assistant for 3, 3/2 with Exploit. When it enters the battlefield, if it exploits, scry 1. Oh my gosh, that's nice. Siphon Essence for 3, instant speed, counter target creature or planeswalker spell, and create a blood token. The Fear of Death for 2, enchant creature. As it enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards. Enchanted creature gets -X/-0, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Repository Scab for 4, 3/3, exploit. When it exploits a creature, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Woof, that's really good. The Selhoff Entomer for 2, 1/3, tap it to discard a creature card to draw a card. Very, very, very good. I like that for 2 mana, nice zombie that's got a good ability. The Serpentine Ambush for 2, instant speed, until end of turn. Target creature becomes a blue serpent with base power and toughness of 5/5. Holy Toledo's, that's a big body for 2 at instant speed. Chill the Grave for 3, instant speed. The spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a zombie. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step and draw a card. Oh yeah. Cradle of Safety for 2 mana, flash. Enchant creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, enchant creature gains hexproof and +1/+1. Hexproof until the end of turn, +1 stays there. Cruel Witness for 4, flying, 3/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Decent. Dreadlight Monstrosity for 6, a 5/5 ward 2, pay 5. It cannot be blocked this turn. Activate it only if we control a card in exile, which is not too hard to do, I guess, right? Supernatural Recluse, 4 mana. It has flash as long as we control spirit. Whenever you cast a spell, tap up to 2 target creatures you don't control. enchanted creature that we control gets +1/+2. The Traveling Minister for 1, a 1/1, we can tap to give it plus, or another target creature, I should say, because you'll be tapping it, LOL. But you could do it defensively for an additional attack point. However, +1/+0 until the end of turn. You gain 1 life, activate it at sorcery speed, so only on your turn, not to block. Vampire Slave for 2, a 2/2, and whenever it deals damage to a vampire, destroy that creature. Nice. Alchemist Retrieval for 1 mana, instant speed, cleave for 2. Return target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand, and then if you pay 2, any permanent, which is insane. The Nebelgast Begruler, I don't even know, for 5 mana to tap target creature. It's a 2/5, and it costs 1 mana and a tap to do so. So that's actually a really nice card, I think. Nurturing Presence for 2 mana, aura. Enchanted creature has whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, this creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Whenever the presence enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying. Nice. So I think you could enchant the flyer that it creates, right? Which is pretty cool. Anyways, the Parish Blade Trainee for 2, a 1/2 with training, and when it dies, it puts its counters on a target creature we control. That's really, really nice. Piercing Light for 1, instant speed, 2 damage to target or attacking creature. Scry 1, decent. The Huron Blessed Geist for 5 mana, 3/3 with flying. Pay 4 to exile it from our graveyard, creating 2 white spirit creature tokens that are 1/1 with flying. Activating this only if we control an enchantment and at sorcery speed. Fierce Retribution for 2, instant speed, cleave for 6, destroy target attacking creature, or just creature in general if you're paying that cleave cost. Eswald Shieldbasher Basher for 4 mana. This is a 4/2, and when it attacks, you may pay 1 to give it indestructible until the end of turn. I absolutely love it. Adamant Will for 2 instant speed. Target creature gets +2/+2, gains indestructible until the end of turn. Decent protection. Snarling Wolf, nice to see you back, pups. 1 mana, 1/1, pay 2, give it +2/+2 in the end of turn. Only once each turn. Bramble Armor for 2, auto-equips as it enters. Equipped gets +2/+1, re-equipped for 4. Sheltering Bows for 3, +1/+3. Draw a card as it enters on the enchanted creature. Blood Servitor for 3, 2/2. When it enters, create a blood token. Then we have the Ragged Recluse and Odious Witch. Human Peasant for 2, 2/1. At the beginning of your end step, if you discarded a card this turn, transform it into the 3/3, and whenever it attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Decent. The Hook Hand Mariner and the Rip Hook Raider. The Mariner is a 4/4 human werewolf, daybound, nightbound. Cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less as a 6/4. Now that is a body. We have the Binding Geist for 3 in the Spectral Binding. Spirit 3/1, no flying, Sag. Whenever it attacks target creature an opponent controls, gets -2, -0 until the end of turn. Disturb for 2 to have an enchanted creature get -2, -0 until the end of turn. The Desperate Farmer and Depraved Harvester. The Farmer is a 2/2 with lifelink, and whenever a creature you control dies, transform it into the 4/3 with lifelink. And that's all the cards, you guys. That's all 277 cards spizzoiled. As far as, things that stood out to me through this, common parade were like a couple really big bodies. Like, this is so good compared to most things here. There was also that really big blue body as well that couldn't be blocked. The wolves seem really, really nice. The trainee, this actually might be constructed playable. A few things look like they might fit in the deck. This is going in that is it deck, sad to say. The zombies get a couple new tools, which is nice as well. Some decent jank cards here as well. And really, it just looks like Dimir Zombies is going to be the dominant archetype in this draft format, but I don't really know. Maybe aggro can get underneath of it. That would be nice to see. Really liking this end, the Festivities, just in general for 1 mana. That seems so good. And then the Voldaren Epicure as well seems really good value for 1 mana, so I'm excited to see what we can do with that. Wolf Strike, good removal, right? Stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. Cool beans. Lots of comments. And of course, Kaya, right? That's where we kind of started with today's video, was Kaya, the Geist Hunter. Let me know what you guys think of that. What other things beside Esseka's Chariot and Tainted Adversary could we use that minus ability on for big gains? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate your time and attention. Have a magical day. Again, check out the first 4 parts of this series. We go through all of the cards, talking about which cards I find interesting and why. This video was pretty quick and straightforward, basically just a read off because you know, they're all just there. So, you know, Royal Recruit, cool, this is good for limited, right? That's about as in-depth as it's going to get here with these cards. Some of them are playable, more so than others in Constructed, but it's not ever going to really make or break the build, right? It's just cool. You get like, oh, the Vampire's Kiss, you know, that's cool, and we could return it from the grave, an instant or sorcery from the grave if we're using blue, right? Which is pretty interesting. So, you know, I really do think the zombies are going to be good. We also have blue and white spirits here as well, and then the red and green werewolves. So diving more in depth with the limited archetypes as we continue to, you know, have awareness of exactly how these cards work together in the future. You know, this is obviously my first through of them all, and we're going to be spending the next week, basically, until the 11th, theory crafting, going through all the cards, just familiarizing ourselves over and over and over again. So when day 1 hits, we've got a really good idea of exactly what's going on. Big shout out to Simba for finally settling down and laying on my lap. Good boy, Tuesdays. Make sure to like the video for myself and Simba to help support the channel. Have a magical day. And like I said, the first 4 parts will be in the description link below. You'll probably have to press see more, and we'll see you soon.